Before I get today's video started, guys, I just wanted to share with you a different project that we'll be working on today. I had finished a lot of things on the Jackson supercharged hatchback in the last few videos, and we'll pick up with those probably in the next video after this one, only because there's nothing else I can really do to it. It is the middle of December. I've been busy at work, and I won't get the car tuned until January or February. Yet I didn't want to waste a day without doing anything, so getting outside, and I'm going to work on something a little different, a new project I want to share with you guys. What's up, guys? In case you're wondering whatever happened to the EG Coupe we were working on, unfortunately this build just didn't pan out. My friend Ray that owned it, he ended up selling it to me just because he had some life issues he needed to figure out, and it wasn't a good time for him to own a project car that he was putting money into. So we ended up working out a deal, and I wasn't sure what my intentions were going to be with this car when I first bought it off of him. But now that I've owned it for a couple of months, it's been sitting in the backyard. As you can see, if you've watched the videos before, I've taken a few pieces off of it already. It had the PCI side skirts, had those aftermarket mirrors, and that eBay front lip. I've already sold those. The 5 Ziggin wheels with the brand new Federal tires. Put them on my CRX for now, as I had raffled off the Coupe wheels. And also included was that supercharger that he had picked up off of Facebook back in early 2020. And it came with a chipped P06 ECU. This car had came with a D15Z1. It's the single VTEC-E, the economy VTEC from the VX model hatchbacks. If you hadn't seen the videos, we did a lot of upgrades to it. We essentially resealed the entire engine, new water pump, timing belt, all seals there. Same with new clutch, flywheel as well. So the engine was a solid setup. It would alleviate me doing a lot of work if I was to pick up another single cam, and I'll get to why I wanted another single cam in a moment. We had installed some brand new max speeding rod coilovers. Same with an eBay setup for lower control Rs and rear subframe brace and bar. He also added a front blocks camber kit, and the car came with Integra front spindles, which we rebuilt, new studs, wheel bearings, and ball joint. And the interior is pretty well put together, and it's decently clean for what it is. His intention was to put together a very low budget track car, but unfortunately that never panned out. We never got to take it to the track. And now it is in my possessions, and you guys know how much I love pulling cars apart. And so if you're wondering why I want to pull it apart, well, there's mainly just two reasons. First reason being is that we don't have the title. When Ray bought the car, he had it somewhere. Unfortunately, he lost it. He does not know who the previous owner is. He didn't have that guy's information. So we can't just go hit him up and ask him to get a duplicate copy so we could sign it over. I definitely didn't want to go through the bonded title process. And second, and most importantly, is I don't want another car to my lineup. Like, I love EG Coupes, but I just don't have the time or room for it right now. I got enough on my plate already that I'd rather work on, and this car would be great for the parts it'll I guess supply some of the other builds. And that build that it's going to supply is this 1991 Civic Sedan DX. This car I've had since March of 2020. I was fortunate enough to come across a fan / subscriber who gave this car to me for free. He lived in the Austin area. It had worked out perfectly. He had emailed me about 2 weeks before I was actually heading down there for my goddaughter's birthday. And when he gave me the address, I looked it up. He was only 17 miles away from where they lived, so it was super convenient. Went over there, talked to him. His name is Richard Gleim. Really nice guy who they had originally bought this car, and it was supposed to be like a friend's project where they work on it together. They kind of put some time and just more of a bonding experience, but unfortunately that didn't pan out. He said the car had been sitting for about a year and they just really didn't touch it. It has a overheated, blown engine, but it's stock. There's no other mods done to it. So with the Coupe, I think it'll be great. I'll take that Z1 out of here. I'll get the coilovers on here, and we can try to get this car up and running again. I don't know when and how quickly I'll get it done. You're seeing this video that I'm recording now, which is December 17th. And you might not see another portion of this video when I'm actually doing something to this for months. Might be a month from now, might be a year from now, who knows. But I figure I'd document it from the beginning, just show you guys a little bit around this car. It's an automatic, so we can do an auto to manual swap, and I can kind of give you a little bit of steps along the way. Very easy. It's very well documented online if you're looking for that information as well from old forums. Really cool. They also gave me a set of rear disc brakes that I could use on this car also, just as a simple upgrade. One thing that was really neat was this was what they were going to put into it. This is a D16, focus there, D16A8. It's the twin cam one, which looks like they said they had some of the headwork done. You can see it's actually ported. It has everything but a bunch of nuts, bolts, the pistons are down in here. It just seems like, I don't know, I hate to try to put it together and all of a sudden it's not working. It just seems a huge puzzle that I don't really want to attempt. Maybe I will, maybe I'll just keep it set aside and see if I can find all the bolts, make sure they're all present and accounted for, but that might be something for a different day, especially since I have that Z1, which is already good to go. I have some pedals that I'd already set aside from, you may have seen if you've been following me for a while, I had a green CRX shell and I yanked those off of it just because I knew I could use them in the future. But yeah, so there is the sedan. You know, getting this car, it's kind of neat because I sold mine when we had moved into our new house. I kind of miss it. I thought it'd be cool to have another sedan, and mine was a B16. I would love to not have to go as far, like a single cam, especially a very fuel efficient single cam, just to kind of dink around with this. Suspension, engine, wheels, that's it. Keep it clean and just cruise it, maybe even use it as like a daily driver every now and then. So that's it, guys. Let me get started. I'm gonna yank this engine today. I'm gonna try to swap the wheels and coilovers as well. And then that's where we will end off this video. And the next portion of it will be when I actually get to work on this again. Got the engine and front suspension removed. I'm gonna see if I can't finish up swapping the stock suspension over to the Coupe before I lose all the rest of daylight today. Well, I finished up getting all the suspension swapped over. Sedan sits a little high in the front. I will adjust those when the time comes. Just want to make sure I could get it rolling again. I got out here a few days later. My good friend Jaime, we'd worked out a deal where he had bought some Integra knuckles off of that shell I parted out a few months ago. So instead I'm going to use the knuckles off this car because we had replaced brand new wheel bearings and the ball joints and the hub, and same with these brake pads and rotors. They're brand new, they're just rusty, but there's no wear and tear. So we're gonna swap those over to his EG and then swap the DX ones back to this car as well. And then I'm just keeping the BWR camber kit and just putting the stock upper control arm back on. And this will be the end of the EG Coupe. I took everything off that I wanted to. I put it up for sale for $500. I put $450 if you bring your own steelies, and I think it's definitely a fair price. It's a good price because when Ray picked it up with the engine, he picked it up for $500. So if I can get anything close to that, obviously I'll price out for less if someone comes through and just gets it out of here, save me the trouble. But that car's done, and on the sedan, I got the coilovers on. We got those installed, and I didn't adjust the rear. The rear kind of sat like this from the Coupe. I did get in here right now. I've had people ask me before, and I wanted to see, like, this is maxed out. It's as low as I can go. The cup, when I spin it all the way up, it's bottoming out on the bottom of the shock assembly, so it's not bad. This is a 195/55 tire. It's close to being like, I don't know, half inch between the tire and the fender. So I don't know how it rides like that. It probably rides okay since I haven't adjusted the preload. Just want to see how it looked on the sedan. I feel like a sedan needs a nice lowered stance. And I'll figure something out with my wheel situation once we get it running. And so what I plan on doing with the Z1 is just putting the original exhaust manifold with the cat right here, putting the Z1 intake manifold with injectors and EGR valve, and getting that car running, I guess, as fuel efficient as possible. I think it'll be a lot of fun and cool to have just a real simple daily driver, something I can use as a second car, a little beater. And it gives me an opportunity to set my CRV aside and work on my CRV, some things that I've been really putting off on it. So hope you guys enjoy the content. Another simple build. Should be fun to get running again and just adding a sedan to the lineup. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.